What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and just a brief update. It looks like Netflix has apologized. Now, before we get into their apology, just a brief reminder that not only did they greenlight the show, somebody internally took a far less provocative photo and decided to change the main photo of the movie to some gross ped imagery. To remind you, the show refers to itself. The movie was directed and stars Faith Youssef as Amy. The movie is about an 11-year-old dancers known as the Cuties. According to reviews in the Hollywood Reporter, the movie is about a child stepping away from her traditional Senegalese family to try and fit in by joining a posse of precociously sexualized dancers. The plot of the movie revolves around Amy moving in with her mom and younger brothers to a new apartment and learning that her dad is returning to Senegal with a second wife. The Hollywood Reporter explained her mom is trying to accept the situation. The review notes that the movie establishes its critical view of a culture that steers impressionable young girls towards the hyper-spicification of their bodies. Now, if that's true, I don't know why some absolute moron at Netflix decided to refer to the movie as I quote, Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. Hoping to join them, she starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions. Now, of course, Netflix would love this because they love anything that flies in the face of the traditional family or conservative values, even though myself, I don't necessarily hold what you would call traditional conservative values. I can very easily just step aside and look at the type of stuff they promote. And if this really was supposed to be some sort of we're sending a message, why wasn't it called like Amy 11 becomes engrossed in a dance crew that pushes the lines and puts her in positions where she's not supposed to be, and takes a hard look at why she went down this path and ended up pregnant at 13 years old. Something along those lines. I mean, I don't necessarily believe you. And then Netflix has been continuing to get completely ratioed. They put this out saying, "We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Cuties. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance." Oh, great. Pedwood gives an award to creepy ped film. Is that supposed to lend credibility to it? We've now updated the picture and description. I mean, disguising the cover and the description so not to reveal the plot really is about remove it or we'll remove our restrictions. But you're still streaming the film. Mr. Jeffrey would be very proud. Yes, I believe after being forced to research this as well, it's not exactly what the message of the film is, but that's exactly how Netflix marketed it. Just updating the art and the description doesn't take away from what you did to the kids in the film. It literally glorifies 11-year-olds twerking and rebelling against their values. How does this Band-Aid reaction change any of the content? Wake up, Netflix. I mean, they're 11-year-old girls in a twerking competition. It's not just the artwork. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. How about this little montage from a writer? This is a writer on Netflix's The Babysitters Club. Take a look at this.
No!
Now again, damage done. Netflix, longtime customer, just canceled. Have convinced several others to cancel, and they're all sharing it with their families and friends. What kind of culture you must have for this to get greenlit? Even if people are correct, or if the film isn't as it was advertised, somebody thought, hey, let's advertise it this way. Let's change the film's original poster, which looked like this, or there was one where they were like running down the street. Let's change the original poster to something gross. You see PJW saying Netflix apologized Thursday for artwork connected to the Netflix movie Cuties, saying the artwork is inappropriate. Okay, now what about the trailer and the entire movie? Time to update this meme. Things I've avoided sponsoring since canceling Netflix. Netflix's animated intros, animated CP, Netflix under fire for gross scenes, super drags. I don't know. That's an adult show for adults, though, right? RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know. That's obviously very popular. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina has an underage spicy scene on Netflix, makes a troubling trend. Critics say Netflix girl sparks controversy over underage. I mean, there's all sorts of just stuff that, well, people don't want their money to go to. And certainly you can cancel your subscription. Now, all Netflix has really done is said, we've apologized and we've removed the poster. Netflix has removed a promotional image which showed girls posing in skimpy outfits for a film called Cuties. The poster for the French drama, along with the trailer, had sparked online disapproval and a petition calling for Netflix to drop it. No, I don't want them to drop it. I want to see all of these people out in the open. I want to see everyone praising it. And, you know, if the message was truly supposed to be this type of thing is bad, okay, who's the employee that wrote that? Who's the employee that's picked that image? I think you should probably look into them. The image, together with the movie's name and suggestive dance sequences, initially triggered online outrage. A petition claiming it takes advantage of 11-year-olds for viewing pleasure of peds attracted 25,000 signatures in less than 24 hours. But the director has explained that the story aims to highlight how social media pushes girls to push this type of imagery without fully understanding what lies behind the dangers of it involved. See, now this is a film that would make sense. We don't need to look much further than modern music videos of both men and women. These are who young, impressionable kids look up to. When I was young, it was like sports athletes. But I suppose like Nirvana wasn't exactly a great role model either. But now you just have basically full-on prawn music videos, and they're being celebrated as being stunning and brave, and maybe they are. But this is who kids look up to. I know it's hard to imagine. Kids look up to people like Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner and all these other vapid people that have, I mean, just look at their Twitter followings and their Instagram followings. James Charles. What is James Charles teaching the world? James Charles is teaching women that they're not beautiful and that they need to buy his makeup. That's what James Charles is doing. But YouTube promotes him as a stunning and brave, a great role model that should be put on trending every time. To me, the whole makeup industry on YouTube is full of a terrible message for young women led by terrible people, in my opinion. Netflix, I think they knew exactly what they were doing. Here said there was no controversy when this film screened to festival audiences, but now it's at the center of an online controversy with tens of thousands of people signing a petition saying the film promotes grossness because of the way Netflix framed the poster. Entirely possible. Not surprisingly, the film has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. But if you read some of these reviews, earnest performances from the ensemble cast and their deliberately voyeuristic direction showcases the perils and plights of coming of age in digital era. Written and directed, Cuties nails down just how isolating and uncomfortable being a young girl in the world can be. elevated largely by Yusuf's performance. More than the commentary on the predatory behaviors of men and the adultification of young girls, Cuties is a reminder that young minds are fragile and eager. So if you take a moment to look at the actual reviews, it would appear that what the director has said is in fact true. That doesn't change how Netflix chose to market it. That doesn't change how Netflix chose to write the blurb about it. Clearly, I don't know who's in charge of that at Netflix, but it's time for them to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Pathetic apology, Netflix. We'll talk to you again real soon.